Hello everyone, today I'll be doing my first makeup video ever. The quality obviously is not going to be the best, and excuse all the mess in the back, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the video, and hopefully y'all can learn something from it. I know, like I said, the quality isn't the best, but I will still try to do everything as simple as possible. I am going to do a simple look just to make sure that y'all can keep up with the steps without it being so much. I will post a picture of it on my Instagram, and I will put that on the description below just so that y'all can see how it really looks and be able to do it. So to start off, I'm gonna do my eyes. I usually, as of lately, I've been doing my base first just because I tend to not really do that big of a makeup look, so that's why I just do my base. But I'm gonna start off with my eyes first. I actually used to do my eyes first, so I'm gonna try to go back to that just to see how that works, and just to see if it's a little bit easier to do. So I'm gonna start off with priming my eyelids. I'm gonna use the MagSafe Soft Ochre paint pot. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard of this, and a lot of people actually use it. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my lids with that. Obviously, you could use a concealer. Sometimes I use concealers, especially when I do my face makeup first. So you could definitely do that. There's no need to go specifically get this, but I've already had it, so might as well use it. Like I said, I am going to do a simple makeup look, nothing too glam, just because, as I keep repeating, this is my first video, so I want to make sure that I don't do anything too much. This one too, like, if you feel like you want to get it, go ahead. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't get it. But like I said, you could also use a concealer, and that'll be perfectly fine. So obviously my eyelids look all very light, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that. I'm actually using the Tarte in the Bloom palette. I'm sorry, and I'm using this for my mirror. But I'm gonna use the Flower Child color, which is excuse the glare, this one right here. I'm gonna use that to set my base right here on my eyes. I'll put it everywhere, all the way up to my eyebrows. And there we go. So funny story about my eyebrows. I went to go get them done about 2 weeks ago, and they really messed them up. This one is so much thinner than this one, and I was not going for a thin look. I think I'm past that phase right now, and when I saw them when I got home, I was about to cry because and my eyebrows already give me a hard time as it is to grow out, so when I saw them like that, I don't know, I just wanted to cry. I'm trying to be calm, but whatever. So for my eye makeup that I'm going to use, I'm only going to use the Morphe 350M palette to use most of the colors from there. Usually, obviously this is just matte colors, so that's what I'm going to use. But there is other colors that I'm going to use from different brands. So I'm going to try to stick to one, but that's not always how it goes. I'm trying to look for... Oh, and the brush that I used to use the paint pot and the set my makeup was the Sigma Precision Round brush, the P82. You may not be able to see that, but I'll link it down below. That's the one I used for the setting the paint pot and the makeup. So I'm going to start off with... I think I'm going to start off with the light color. I'm going to start off with this color right here for the transition color, and just kind of go from there. So when you do the transition color, you want to start from the little gap that you see between your lid and the eyebrow, not the eyebrow, the bone right here. So this little part right here, that's the crease. So that's kind of where you want to put your transition color. And that's just, it helps to make sure you blend out the colors like you want them. And then that way it doesn't look like messy. Like I said, I'm not a pro, but I am learning as I go. I typically put it all the way over here and then just kind of go like that. You can put it more up if you want. Obviously, we'll blend it out and do lighter colors up there. But as of right now, that's how I'm doing it. Like that. And then just keep going back and forth. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Like that. I have allergies right now, so if you hear me sniffle a lot, that's because I have allergies. I'm not sick, I just have allergies and they suck. Feels like you're sick. So, like that, keep blending it out. So like I said, this is my first video. I've been wanting to do a video for like ever. I just never had the guts to do it because I feel like I sound silly on video, and obviously I don't have the proper equipment to do it, but you gotta start off somewhere, right? So this is what I'm doing. So now that I have that set, I'm going to okay, I'm actually gonna use this is usually what I've been using as lately. It's actually a bronzer. It's the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer, and the color Rock on World. I sometimes use it as a bronzer just on my right here temples, because it's very bronzy and it's very, you could see like glitter. Well, not so much glitter, but it's very light. I mean, it's a beautiful color. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very pretty. But it works really good as a eyeshadow too. So I've been using it like that as well. And you get a lot of compliments from it, so. And it's a lot. So I'm going to use the same brush as well. Just get some, tap off the excess. What I'm going to do for this, I'm just trying to keep it on the crease, not so much up here on the eyebrow, just because I don't want that to be all glittery. So I'm probably going to start off from like here and then just kind of go like that. And this is just to give it a little bit more brightness. Well, not brightness, but just little glitter on there. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this makeup look simple, so that's why I'm doing it like this. You could use any color really that you want. So I do the same over here. Bring it into the corner like this and then blend it out. I don't know if I mentioned what brush this is, but this is actually, this is a IT Cosmetics one. Is it? It is. I don't know which one it is, but I love it. I'll link it down below. Probably, well, yeah, I'll link it if I figure out how to do that. So do this. Okay. I need to get one of those little things that you could just swivel your brush in and just kind of clean it off, because I tend to use this brush a lot with a lot of different colors just because it's just so easy to use. And I have brushes. I have a lot of brushes, but I just like using one just to make it easier. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to kind of make the corner a little bit darker. Just to kind of make it more dimensional. So that's what I'm going to do. No, this isn't IT Cosmetics. It's just, I don't know if it's, no, it's not IT Cosmetics. It's just IT brushes for Ulta. This one's actually in the back. That's my husband calling. And I'll just message him in a minute. So let me go ahead and check and see what he wants. Okay, sorry about that. So continue on. So I'm gonna use this one. It's like a flat brush to use for the corner here. This was also it brushes for Ulta. This one's actually the Precision Shadow Airbrush. I think it's number 112. This one, I don't know which one it is because it came off from the back, but I'll look for it and I'll put it down below. But this one I'm going to use, like I said, for the corner over here. So I'm going to use, again, the Morphe one. I'm going to go with this darker shade down here to do that corner. And when you use it, just use a little bit. Like, I'm sure a lot of y'all use Morphe already, and if y'all don't, they're actually really good. This is the only palette I have just because I have other palettes too, and I'm just, I don't have that liberty of buying so many, and I just feel, I don't know, I feel weird having so many palettes and not using them because I just feel like I'm just throwing money, honestly, so that's why I don't get a lot of them. But there is a lot of palettes out there that are really nice, and they're really good pigmentation, so whatever you have that are close to the colors I have, you can just use that. So again, I'm going to just put it in the corner right here, like this, and just kind of do a V. So you're just going to do a V. And you could put it up to the crease as well, just to get more dimension, like I said. And so start off with the eyeliner, the lash line. I'm so sorry, I could not figure out how to say that. And then just do a V. You could bring it in more. So I'm just trying to make sure that you could actually see a difference. So keep using that one. Do the same thing over here. This is more of like an orangey, like a burnt orange kind of color. So that's why you're not going to see a big difference here on the video, just because one, the video is not the greatest quality, so that's why you're not going to see the biggest difference. But I am going to make it a little bit darker here in a minute. So just do that. Kind of go back and forth. You just blend until you feel like it looks good, you know? So before I keep going on with that outer corner, I'm actually going to go back to this brush that I was using earlier, and I'm going to grab a lighter color. I'm actually going to use the one that's in here in this Tarte in the blue one. I'm going to go with Smarty Pants, and I'm going to use that color to blend the top. I just feel like it needs a little bit more, so that's what I'm going to do. Just blend up here. And this step, honestly, you could do it after you're done doing everything else, but I'm going to do it now just because it's really bothering me. So might as well get it done now. And keep doing that. I actually wanted to start doing videos like way before now. I just never, like I said, never had the guts to do it. And I'm sure this video is not going to be the best, but you have to start off somewhere. That's what my husband tells me all the time, and I'm trying to do that and stop being such a scary butt. So right now, the way I actually just watched a Jaclyn Hill video that she was doing a makeup look, and it was really, really pretty. One thing that she was talking about is whenever you're blending these shadows, especially like the crease one and all that, you want to go like this and then up. That way it does that cat effect. Well, right now I did not do that, I'll be honest. So right now what it's doing, I'm doing this, so it's gonna like loop around, which is still fine because we can still fix it. But if you want to do it from like the beginning, you know, Now that I remembered, you do this and just kind of go like that. So right now the way you can fix it, just put concealer and just kind of clean it up, which we're gonna do, because this is gonna make your eyes more like round. So they're gonna make it look a little bit smaller. And my eyes are already small to start off with. Not extremely small, but smaller than I would want them to be. But now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go with a darker brown color, like an actual brown color. I don't know if I should use the same brush or not. Yeah, I'm gonna use the same brush. So I'm actually gonna go with this color over here. It's in the other corner. It's a very dark brown color. So I'm gonna use that one for the corner again. Just kind of make it a little bit darker. And that's probably all the shadows I'm gonna use for now. Yeah, I like that. So that's more of the look I was trying to go for. And I really like that shadow. Sorry, my hair looks weird, but just trying to make sure. And this one, I'm bringing it like to the middle of the eye, not all the way to the corner, because I don't want my inner corner to look super dark. Just doing that. So that's how it looks. Looks good. So now we have this side done. Now we're going to go and do the same thing on this side. Using the same color. And doing a V motion again. And just blend, blend, blend. I haven't done an eye makeup look like this in a while. I tend just to, usually when I get ready in the mornings for work, I just use like, I actually use this color right here. I just use that on my eye, like pretty much all over the eye, and then just use another shimmer on the eyelid, and that's how I do it, just because I'm just doing something simple, nothing too dramatic. I'm not trying to do anything too dramatic. I'm going to use a little bit more on this side. Just keep doing that. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm gonna get a clean brush. This is a MAC one. This is the MAC 224. I really like. I've had this brush forever. I'm not quite sure they still have it. I think they might, but if they don't, I think there's a Morphe brush that's like similar to this one. It's a white one, I think. The reason why it's similar to it because I've seen other YouTubers use it, and I think that's the one that they compare it to. So I'm gonna go in now. Well, actually, I'm just gonna blend out the colors I have on my eyes now, just to make sure everything is blended. So that's the thing with eyeshadows, is you just want to make sure everything's blended. And it takes time. Like, I'm still getting, used to doing all this. I'm not a professional at all, but I just kind of do what I know and then learn from others. I myself watch videos obviously all the time, and like I said, I watched one today from Jaclyn Hill and learned that new technique. I didn't use it on this video because I completely forgot about it, but I am gonna try to use it later on. So just do that. So now that that's done, I'm actually gonna use a shimmer on my eyelid. I'm actually gonna go with this MAC one. I have a lot of MAC stuff because that's the first product or makeup product I started using when I first started using makeup. I was using their foundation, concealer, eyebrow products, eyeshadows. Well, some eyeshadows, because I wasn't that into eyeshadows back then when I used to, first started using makeup. But this one is a natural flirt. It's really like kind of pinkish color. This one I like to apply with my finger just because it's easier. I've actually already hit pan a little bit on it. I think they still have this color, so I'll make sure that they do. But that's the one I'm using. I'm going to use my pinky. It's just an easier way for this particular color to be applied with. And then I'm just going to apply it on the inner corner to like the middle. And obviously we're going to blend it out because right now it's going to look funny. I really love this color. I've used it so much. I actually used it on my wedding day. I did my own makeup on my wedding day because I did not trust anybody else to do my makeup, and I loved how it came out. I was surprisingly not nervous at all when I was doing it. I just try to stay calm and, you know, be like, you got this. And so that's what I did. So, like I said, you do it from here to the middle. So then I'm going to grab that MAC brush again that I was using earlier just to kind of blend everything out. And there you have it. So right now I'm not going to do the bottom just yet because I'm going to do everything else first and then I'm going to get to that part. So now what I'm going to do, I could clean it up a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to grab a concealer. I have a bunch of concealers I could use actually. I think I'm just gonna grab this Maybelline one. It's their, I don't remember which one this is, but it's a Maybelline one. It's pretty popular. It's in the color Sand. I'm just gonna use this to clear this over here, just kind of make it like a cat eye look. Cat eye. I've been saying cat instead of cat eye. So what you want to do is kind of from your water duct right here, just kind of go up like that. And so you want to go up like that. You see that line? You see how it's, you could already tell it's going to be that's the look. That's what you're going to try. So don't go straight like that, or, you know, try to go as up as possible. Kind of like where your eyebrow would be at. That's where you want to go. Do the same thing over here. That's why it's okay if you feel like there's a lot of shadow out here. That's fine because we're going to clean it up anyways. I'm going to use this Sigma Tapered P86 brush to blend it out. You could use a beauty blender or a sponge or whatever it is that you want to use. I'm going to use this just because it has that angle. I'm going to blend it out more, just trying to do this. So once that's done like that, I'm actually just going to use my finger and just kind of blend it out more. Okay, so that's done. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna do eyeliner because that's one of the things I still need practice on, and it's gonna take me forever to do that. I mean, it may not take me forever, but I have my good days and I have my bad days, and I don't want that to be today. So I'll try to do that in another video. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do my base. I'll do my eyebrows after I do my base. So right now, as of lately, I've been using this BareMinerals BarePro foundation. I am in the color Toffee, which is 19. I sometimes use a brush. I sometimes use a sponge, kind of whatever I feel like. For a while, I was using a brush. I was using the Sigma F80, and then sometimes I would use the Sigma F82. I actually like it better with the F82 just because that one's more dense. So, and then this one is more like mineral. So, I use about 1.5 pumps of it. Oh, you know what? I need to prime my skin before I do that. So I used to not be big about priming just because I felt like it really didn't make a difference. And it, back when I started using makeup, it really didn't. I just didn't really see a big of a difference. And then whenever I would use a primer, it kind of would break me out. So that's why I didn't even care to use it. So that's why I didn't really use them. But now what I actually started noticing that my makeup started breaking apart a lot around my nose, especially now that it's summer and I live in Texas. So it was just melting away. So what I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use the Makeup Forever. This is their Skin Equalizer, step 1. This is their smoothing primer. I'm actually use that one to use on my T-zone mainly. And then whatever's left over, I kind of just put everywhere else. So, just in between your fingers. And I do patting motions. Sometimes they're kind of rough, but kind of like that. You get to see the foundation right there. But that's how I'm kind of like holding my hand weird. And then whatever's left over, kind of just use everywhere else. So essentially you want to let that set for about 5 minutes, or at least that's what I hear in every makeup video, and you kind of did, just to make sure that it's, you know, melted into your skin, make sure it does the job the way it's supposed to be done. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the foundation. I'm not trying to flick everybody off, but so I'm just pretty much just putting it everywhere on my face with my finger. That's how I do it. I think my baby just woke up. I could hear him talking. He's actually asleep right now. He's 1. He's asleep though. Well, he was, but right now he's good. He's not crying, so just gotta do this fast. So do that, and then just blend it out. I'm gonna blend it out with the sponge today, just because that's how I feel like doing it today. I'm gonna use the L'Oreal sponge, that pink one, this one. I'm just gonna use that and just blend it out. And make sure you blend down to your neck. I feel like that's the biggest issue you have when you first start doing makeup, or you know, trying to learn it, is you kind of just stop right here. I mean, I used to do like that when I first started doing makeup. I would not blend down, and I was just like, now that I think about it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. And it's just foundation. There's so many types of foundations you could use depending on your skin type, but obviously finding the right foundation that works for you and the right color is what's really gonna make the difference. Just blend it all the way down. Sometimes I use a color correcting stuff. I use a NYX one, but right now, like, I didn't really want to do that today. So, but sometimes I mainly do it for like the redness that I have around my nose, and then sometimes the pimples that I have. use that. So like I said, I mainly have combo skin. Sometimes under my eyes it gets kind of dry. Right now, probably not. So right now I would say I have like mainly oily skin, but during the winter I have mostly combo skin because I noticed that under my eyes it would feel so dry, and I actually started using a primer that's actually like an oil. That one's It Cosmetics, and oh, I loved it. I still have it, but right now I don't really use it that much just because it's the summer and I don't want to be so oily. So that's why right now I don't use it. I just use a moisturizer and that primer that I'm using now. So, but I really like it. So yeah, just blend out everything. Make sure you get up here around your ear area, all around. So the concealer that I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use the Too Faced concealer, then the Born This Way concealer. Give me one moment. Okay, so back to the video. So yeah, I'm going to use that Too Faced new concealer, Born This Way, the multi-use sculpting concealer. I'm using it in the color Natural Beige. I actually really like this concealer. I will agree that it's not as what was I gonna say? It's not as thick and like full coverage as the Tarte one, but I really like it still because it still gives the right amount of coverage that I personally want. But if you're looking for like a more full coverage kind, then I would definitely use a Tarte Shape Tape. And I use it in the color medium. I'm actually going to use that one today, actually. I'm actually trying to go for more of a, I think it's actually darker. I'm actually going to go for a more full-on, full coverage kind of look. Let me see if because they're about the same color. I would say the Tarte one's a little bit darker, just by like a smidge. But I'm actually going to use the Tarte one. I have a hate and love relationship with the Tarte one. I like it because it's really full coverage and it really does conceal and lighten up depending on how light you go. I was thinking about using the light medium, but after thinking about it and looking to see how this one is, that would probably be too light. And my under eyes aren't really that dark, honestly. It's just like the very inner. And so that's why I'm using the medium. But so I do have a hate and love relationship with it because it tends to look very cakey even when I use very little. So I'm going to show y'all how much I use. I do not use a lot of this. I literally just put some on the corner here. Just kind of go down like that. Ooh, you can't see that. So you can kind of see. You'll probably be able to see it on this side. So just kind of go from here down like that. You still can't see. Like that. And then I do some here on the side of my nose because that's where it gets really red. And then I use a little bit right here. And the reason why I just do it like that, you see, the reason why I just do it like that, especially with this concealer, I used to use nothing but the MAC Pro Long one, and I still have a little bit here. But I haven't used it as of lately just because I've been using these. But that one also you could, if you use a lot of it, it'll look very cakey. But that's the thing with that one. You don't need a lot of it, and you don't need to, honestly, having to bring it all the way down, you know, like the whole square. I don't do that because that is so much makeup. I mean, you're already wearing foundation. You really don't need that much more. Especially if all you're really trying to do is just to conceal your inner eyes or like your dark circles. You really don't need to do that. But if you're trying to highlight, then the trick I do is I do that, and then whenever I blend, you know, you bring it down like this, and then I bring it down too. Like you're moving around the concealer to where you want it. And so that's why I don't find the need to do the whole triangle thing. And I'm actually going to use it on my nose too. I forgot to put it there. But, I mean, that's how I do it. And I really like it. Because, one, you're not using so much more makeup on top of what you already have. And I just feel like you don't need that much more. I mean, of course, everyone's different. I'm not saying you can't do that. I just personally don't do that just because for me, on my face, it just looks too cakey. And I don't like looking cakey. And I mean, even that I used was a lot. Do the same thing on this side. Just bring it down. You pretty much move it around how you want it. The makeup is going to go the way you want it to go. So if you're moving it like to the side like this and then back down, that's how it's going to go. And it's going to form the triangle shape that you're doing. I'm going to do it right here too. Obviously, if you're a beginner, sometimes it could be easier to start off with your base and then do your eye makeup because you don't want to ruin it. But you know, you could do it like this too. I mean, even if you are a beginner, I mean, you're gonna learn how to do it, so might as well learn it this way, right? If that's how you want to do it. So I'm actually just gonna go with the remaining that I have here and conceal or like this is more of your preference if you want to highlight your T-zone. So I'm going to put a little bit more on my forehead right here just because just need a little bit more. And I'm going to use, as you can see, I just used that much. I'm going to use that and then just kind of blend that out and bring it down to my nose, right here, a little bit on my side. And that's that. And that's if you want to highlight around here. If you don't want to highlight, then you don't have to do that. So use that. And that's that. So I've been trying to contour. I'm not the greatest at contouring, but I am trying to learn. I'm still trying to figure out the best products to contour with. I actually like cream contouring. I used to not be a big believer of it just because, like I said, I have oily skin, so I always thought cream contour is probably not the best route for me. But as of lately, I've been doing that, and I really like it. I was using the let's see, the Wet n Wild contour stick, and I use it in the color 805, which is called me Maple. This is more bronzy to me. Like when I do it for contour, it looks good, but it looks more bronzed than like a really like carved out contour. So I started using that Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. I was actually gonna try to use like the Tarte shape one or even the Too Faced one, but then the price was like, I don't think so. So I went for the cheaper route. I think this is like $7. And I'm actually using it in the color C14. This one's more contour like because it's more of a ashy kind of tone, and that's what I was looking for. So that's what I'm going to use to contour. I'm still going to use this Wet n Wild one to bronze over here, but just the temples, because I don't like how this looks on the tip of my forehead because I want that more bronzed. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that first. I'm just going to go ahead and bronze up there. And I just do like 2 lines like that. And I do the same thing on the other side. And depending on your forehead shape and how you do that, that's how you are going to do it. Like I said, I'm not a professional makeup artist. I actually want to do that, and I want to go to makeup school, but that's kind of in the future. But what I do on myself, this is how I do it. Obviously, and my forehead is a little bit more, I guess, wider, like bonier. So that's why I do it like that. It definitely helps. So for that, what I'm going to use to blend that out with, I'm actually going to use that the Sigma F80 brush, because I actually like how that blends out because it's like flat. And the F82 could work too. I used it, but I still prefer the F80. So I'm just going to blend that out. And it blends out really easy. Do that. and do that. So now for the contour part, like I said, I'm learning how to contour. So if you want to skip this part and learn it from somebody else, you could definitely do that. But this is how I've been learning it, and this is how I've been doing it. Of course, as you learn and as you go, that's how you'll get better. So this is the only way that I'll get better at doing it. So obviously, as you all know, you want to contour. When you contour, you're trying to hit the carves, right? The right here, right above your or right below your cheekbone. So you're trying to carve out that part to look skinny, right? So you want to start off from the ear right here and just kind of go down like that. And then you kind of go from here and kind of like line it up to here, right? You're not going to do that whole line all the way over here because then you're really going to look silly. But I've noticed that with this type of concealer, you really just need very little, because a little does go a long way. So what I'm going to do is, and if you can't see it that good on this side, I'm still going to do it on this side so you'll be able to see it. So coming from the ear, I'm going to do it right here. So I'm going to do 2 little dots like that. Literally, that's all it takes, because yesterday I did 3 and little dots like that, and I feel like it looked too muddy, and after a while it looked good after it melted in, but it took a while for it to look good. So that's why I'm only doing 2 lines. And if you feel like you need more, then put more, but I think it's always better to start off with a little than with a lot. So you're going to do that. Again, I'm going to do the same thing over here. And if it helps, you could do that. But, I mean, it doesn't really help me. So as you can see, it's just 2 dots like that. And when I went to Ulta, I think like a week ago to try to get this. I was actually going to, like I said, I was going in for the Tarte one. I was going to get the Tarte one, but I decided I did not want to spend that much money, and I couldn't find this one, but they actually had it in the front when you check out. So I was talking to one of the Ulta, cosmetic people, and she actually tried on, I think it was a Becca one, and it looked really good, and it was very, the way she blended out was really easy, but that thing was like $37, and it was very small amount, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna go. I think I was gonna get it. I actually was gonna get it. I was ready to check out, and that's when I saw this one, and it was the color that I wanted. So I was just like, oh, I'm gonna leave that $37 one and go with the $7 one. So I think it was $37. I don't know, but it was a lot more than $7. So anyways, that's my story. So now what I'm gonna do to blend out, I've actually tried it a few ways. I tried it with a sponge. It didn't go well. I tried it with a different brush. I think I can't remember if I used the F80, and it came out good, but it still wasn't the way I wanted it to look. And I tried also the Sigma F82, and that also didn't work out. So yesterday I used the Sigma brush, which is this is actually for extreme structured contours, the F04. And it's not like, it's very like, you can move it around very like that, like it's not like just stiff. So I was kind of like, it may work, it may not work. So I used it yesterday, and I liked how it, did the job. Of course, like I said, I used a little bit too much, but it still came out really good. So I'm going to do this again. So the way I do it, I just first kind of stipple it like that. Just kind of get it to where, so like now I do this because I'm trying to make sure. So I do that first, just kind of go up and down like that, not like that. Like that, right? Get it to where you want it, and then I start moving it up. And like I said, I'm new to this, so it looks way worse like this than it does in real life, just because the quality isn't good, as I keep saying. You could move it up here too, but just blend, blend, blend. So as you can see, that looks extreme, which it does. Like I said, I think even that looked, even the 2 dots was quite a bit. But with contouring, you want to go up and not down, because then you're going to pull it down. And of course, we're going to fix this. This is not how it's going to stay. I promise you. Baby hairs everywhere. Oh, yeah. Look at me. So that's that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and set my under eyes, because I still haven't done that. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully I'm able to figure out how to, how do you call it? How to edit this video as best as possible, because otherwise this video is going to be extremely long. So sorry about that. But to set my powder, I'm actually going to use the Airspun loose face powder. I actually just recently started using this probably about a month ago, and I really like it. The smell doesn't really bother me. It is a strong scent, but I could get through it. I'm using the translucent. I know they have the like extreme I don't know what it's called, but there's another one that it's like, I guess, even more translucent. I don't know, but I use this one. I like this one. I feel like the other one, I think it's a little bit more darker, I want to say. I don't know, but this is the one I use. And this has probably, I had gone through so many powders, like setting powders under my eye, that I could not figure out one that helped with the creasing. And at first I was like, it has to be the concealer. Well, it was literally with every concealer, and it was just my eyes just giving it a hard time. So I normally don't bake, just because I don't find the need to, even in this Texas heat for me. Like I said, I am more oily, but I would say I'm like combo still. So that's why I don't bake. Sometimes I may, just because if I feel like doing it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to set it under my eyes. It's going to look like I'm baking, but I'm going to like blend it all out. Do the same thing on the other side. And then this is where you could definitely like highlight even more the T-zone with the powder. And this sponge is damped, so just so y'all know. I've used the sponge without wetting it first, but it's just, if you're gonna do that, might as well use a brush, honestly. So I just like how it looks better with the brush if I'm gonna do it that way. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna go ahead and carve out the bottom, that way it doesn't look so intense like it does right now, like so bad. So I'm actually new at doing this too. This one is the one that really needs it. Really screwed this one up. And it'll all come together once you put powder over it. I love blush. I cannot tell you how much I love blush. Like, I love blush. I just feel like it makes your skin look more alive, it gives you more color, obviously, and I love it. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the rest of my face like all over here. I actually didn't contour down here. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that real quick. I'm just going to put the same contour I used for my cheeks. I'm going to put it down over here. I'm just going to put 2 dots. Or 3. And just blend that out. I'm going to use that same brush that I used earlier. Just kind of... And then this one, I still haven't figured out how you gotta do this. Because, I mean, I do it like this and then kind of move down. I need to figure out a video and see how they contour this over here. I'm still trying to figure that out. But this is how I do it, and it's worked. Or somewhat. Like that. Like I said, I'm going to set the rest of my face with this Cover FX one. I'm in the color N60. I'm just going to set that real quick and just kind of brush all this off. Just give me one moment because this video is going to be really long. Okay, so I set the rest of my makeup with that powder that I told y'all. So now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and bronze up here and then use a bronzer too to go ahead and set this cream contour. Like I said, it's going to look better than this. Or at least we hope so, right? I'm actually going to go ahead and use that Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Bronzer that I used for my eyes. I'm going to use that for up here. I don't use too much because, like I said, it's a lot. I'm actually going to use this Equal Tools brush to go ahead and bronze up here. And I used the Real Techniques, this very fluffy brush to set the rest of my makeup. And when I set it, I set down here where I didn't put any powder. And then down here as well, like that. And just kind of go over everything else. That's just because my skin is like, oh, you can get oily. So I just tap in there. And just bronze up there. Here. And this bronzer is like very intense. I mean, intense. But I just, like I said, I use very little and just kind of brush it everywhere, and I really like it. Another one that I really like that's similar to this color but less tense, and it has like the same thing. It's like the MAC bronzing one. This is in the color Refined Golden. I don't know if they still have this one. That's why I'm using this one. But it's definitely less intense. There's like glitter sparkles on there, but it's not as bad as that one. The reason I like this one more is because I'm a little bit tanner right now than I am in the winter. So this one is a little bit more darker than the MAC one. That's why I'm using that one. And of course, that way if you do like this one, you could actually get it. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and set that cream contour. I'm actually going to use a bronzer that I got that time that I went to Ulta. Where is that? And it's the Becca one. This is in the color Sunrise Waves. It was actually on sale that day, and I was just like, okay, I will get it. So it's like, how the heck do you open this? So it's like this. It's very pretty. It has 3 different colors there, and it has a highlight on the side. That's actually the Opal one. It's really pretty. And I use this. So I just swivel that same brush that I use. I just swivel it around like this. I don't think you saw that, but I'll show you in a minute. So I just swivel it around like that, and that's what I use to set the powder. So let me show you this time. You just swivel it around. Just try to make sure that you don't actually get the actual highlight in there. so I just, you know, I'm gonna keep working on my contour because when they did it at Ulta, it looked really nice, and I just really liked how it looked, and I'm just like, I hope I look like that, not a hot mess. But now for my favorite part, it's the blush. So I have very different, I go back and forth with switching my blushes. Like, blushes is the one thing that I actually like to try out a lot of. And obviously foundations. As of lately right now, it's also been concealers. But my blushes, I love blushes. I mean, I use a lot of different ones. But today what I'm going to use is this MAC one. It's in the color Desert Rose. I actually used to use a different one, and it was their Prolong formula, but they didn't, I don't know if they don't make the Prolong formula blush anymore, or they just didn't make that color anymore, and that color was so beautiful. I really liked it, but they don't have it anymore. So, and I ran out anyway, so it's not like I was going to use it. And then I'm going to use, of course, this MAC brush. This is the number, I think it's either 100 or 103 or 108. No, it's actually 168. This is their MAC 168 brush. I think this one's actually meant for, I could actually use this for your contour, but I use it for my blush. But so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab, like, just swivel around like that, and I smile and I put it on the cheekbones. So right here, and just kind of do circular motions like that, and just go up. And this is where it's going to start looking better, that contour is, because a little bit of that blush is going to kind of like cover it up like that. And then do the other side. Probably add a little bit more, but right now I'm just going to leave it like that. Do the same thing over here. Like that. Can't really see it, but it's a very pinky, rosy color, like it says. I just love this blush. It's not as intense as the one I used to have, but it really works for me. So that's the blush. And now I'm going to use that Opal highlight that's in here. I actually really like this one. It's my first time using it, but I normally also really like using the Laura Geller, Laura Geller Gilded Honey. Oh, I love this bronzer. But I'm going to use a little, and then this one, like, oh, it's really intense. So for the highlight, I'm going to use the Real Techniques. I don't know what brush this is, but is this one, like this, just flat. I love this one for highlight. And just grab the side of it, try to use the tip of it. Make sure you don't grab any of the bronzer, and just do the temples of your cheeks like that. You can smile. I like to do a C, kind of bring it up here too. I'm telling you, this highlight is intense. Like, and it takes very little to get it to this, and it's so amazing. And honestly, for it being a light highlight, it doesn't look that like bright and light on me, because my skin is tanner. I have tanner skin, so I'm always afraid of using highlights this color, because I don't want to look like, you know, like, oh my god, like, I love highlight, but I'm still not at that, like, I want to really highlight that intense. And just do that. See it? You can't see it, but it looks really nice. I'll take a picture of my look again, like I said. Just put it around my nose right here. And then I actually forgot to set my bronzer over here. That's fine. So then I kind of just go over everything right there with that blush brush I used, just to make sure everything is blended out, looks good, doesn't look like a line for everything. You just want everything blended out. Just like you want your eyeshadow blended out really good, you want your face makeup blended out as well. So now, what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to go ahead and set my makeup because as far as my base, I'm done with that. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and finish the bottom of my eyes. Just to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. I'm not going to go back, well, no, I'm just going to use this Rebel color here in that Tarte palette that I've been using just to kind of do this bottom. Just because I'm going to do, like I said, I don't want to do anything too intense. Just kind of go in the bottom lash line. And put it together. Like that. You see? See how that contour doesn't look as like bad as it was earlier? Like it's not like, oh my god, you have a line. It's not as bad. And this is a Sigma small taper blending E45. I should use that real quick just for the bottom. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set my makeup. I love this Mario. Ooh, I don't know how to say the last name, but you know, this is that famous stuff. I actually use it in that smell aloe, cucumber, and green tea. I love this one. I do like the rose one, but I really enjoy this one. You might think, I thought your skin was oily. You should use like a oil one. I don't use it. Sometimes I use a is there the Urban Decay All Nighter one. I like that one, but right now I don't really plan on going out being outside for that long. And even if I was, I still use this one just because with the powders that I use and all that, it's not too bad. Now, if I do think that I'm going to be outside for a long time or going to be out sweating, then I will use that All Nighter one. And I'll still use this one because this stuff is amazing. Like, it just makes everything look so great and it's so inexpensive. Like, I love it. It looks really, really good. So now before I finish up everything else, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera because this video is already long enough. And I'm going to do them off camera. And if hopefully people who watch this video, if you want me to show you how I do my eyebrows, I'll definitely do that. But I'm going to do it off camera and I'll let y'all know what products I use. So I'll be right back. Okay everyone, so I'm back. I finished doing my eyebrows and I actually went ahead and did a little bit of highlight in the inner corner of my eyebrow. So I used the MAC Phloof color. You can't tell that much. Oh, you can see it right there. Oh, there we go. Oh, that looks good. So I used that on the inner eyes and then I just put on some mascara. I used the Maybelline. Maybelline Lash Sensational one. I really love. I use this like nonstop. Like I've used it so many times. I've probably gone through like 10 of them because every time I finish, I just reuse it again. I really, really love it. But right now, my allergies are so bad. Like my eyes get really watery, so I don't like using waterproof mascara because it's just so hard to come off. So if y'all have any suggestions as to a really good mascara that's really good, because this one I really like because it's like curved, you know, you see, I really like it because I don't really have that long eyelashes, honestly. Like they're like non-existent, like you can't even really see them right now. They're there. But and I use a little bit of the old school, is this Maybelline? Yeah, Maybelline Great Lash, the pink one. You know, it's just the pink bottle, doesn't have the green one, but this one's a little bit curved. I just use this to kind of coat it just one time, so like that way I could really get a really good curve in. So I really love these. I've used some high-end mascaras, but I feel like they kind of dry out a lot quicker than these, so I don't even care to spend money on them. But if there is a high-end one that y'all recommend that's really good, please let me know. For eyelashes that are really short, that are not long, so that's my problem. So I did that, and then to use the brush that I used for my inner corner was this Real Techniques little brush, like this. I just used that one. And then for my lipstick and lip gloss, I actually used MAC in the color Brave. It's like a very, it doesn't look that pink on here, but on my lips is really, really pink, and it's really pretty. But I used a gloss. This is the Essence Shine, Shine, Shine Wet lip gloss. I actually just recently purchased this, and it's so pretty. This is in the color, it does not say. I'll find it and I'll list it down below. For my eyebrows, I actually used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Paint Pot in the color medium brown. And I actually just started using this like a week ago. I know. I always stuck to using pencils and powders just because I like that look. And I still like that look. And I never used this one because I was always afraid that my eyebrows were going to look very like just, I don't know. I just wasn't going to like the look. And I love it. I literally take like 5 minutes doing my eyebrows. Back when I started, you know, like learning my makeup and all that, it would take me like 20 minutes to do my eyebrows. 20. Now it just takes me 10, regardless if I use this or another product, but I really like it. And then the brush that I use for that is, it's a MAC one, and I don't know where it is. Ah, here it is. It's this very little angled one. This one is, I think this one's the 203, and I've used this, I mean, I've had this brush for, like, all my MAC brushes that I've used, I've had them for years, because those were the first ones that I started using when I first started using makeup, because I was like, I want to use the good stuff, and they are really good, and I've had them for years. I mean, they've lasted me so long. Of course, now there's like so many different brushes from so many different companies that you could use that are really, really good, but I still use those because I've had them for so long, and there's just, for me, it's like, why not use them if they work for me? So this was really good. And I don't carve out my eyebrows because I don't need to, but if you want to carve out your eyebrows, you definitely could, but I don't. But that's what I use. And then I use the Anastasia setting gel thing to set my eyebrows. This one. I've always used that one too. And then what else? The mascara. And then for the waterline under my eye, I actually use this NYX metallic eyeliner, metallic eyeliner in the color Black Metal. It's really, really good. I used to use an Essence once. That one was really good, but it started transferring, like, it just started making my eyes look very, like it would just transfer too much. And this one, as far as I've been using it, it has not transferred. It's really good, and I really like it. And again, eyeliner for the waterline is one too that I use. I go for a drugstore because they're just a lot cheaper, and they do the job. And they do the job. Ugh. They do the job. Oh my god, I can't speak. And I think that's it. And then everything else is, you know, you saw that. That was the only thing I did off camera. Just my eyebrows, my eyelashes, my lip gloss, lipstick. And I really like how this makeup look came out. I really like it. And like I said, see that contour? It does not look bad anymore, does it? Because it all comes together. It looks scary at first, but after a while, after you start, you know, blending everything out, putting your blush, putting your highlight, blending it out, using this setting spray or any setting spray that you use, but like honestly, you could see a big difference using a setting spray. I used to think that there was not that big of a difference, but a lot has to do with the type that you use, what setting spray you're using, and if it really works. And this one so far does work. Like I could just tell the biggest difference with it because everything just kind of melts and just kind of like just gets put together, you know. So I'll stop talking. I hope y'all do find this video helpful, and like I said, I will post this picture on my Instagram, obviously with my hair not like this with all these baby hairs everywhere, but that way I could really look and see how the eye look came out and how the face makeup came out. So If y'all really like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It is my first video, so if y'all do like it, go ahead and like it, and then that way you know, I could continue making more videos. If there's a particular video you want me to do, like how to do eyebrows, how to do a different makeup look, you know, whether it's an eye look or just more of a talk through of how I do my base makeup, stuff like that, just let me know. I am hoping that I continue this. Like I said, I've been wanting to make a video like this forever. I just never had the guts to do it. So I hope y'all do like it. And I'll continue to do videos as long as y'all like them. And of course, as the more videos I make, I'll make sure that I make it with better, you know, equipment. So thank y'all a lot. Please give it a thumbs up and have a great day.